Okay, today I'm with Rain. We're in Waterloo, and Rain's come up from Birmingham to tell us about an incident that happened with the heinous crime of dropping a cigarette end down a drain.
A drain.
In other words, it was a victimless crime.
Yeah.
They found a victim.
Yeah, the grid in the road.
So the grid in the road was the victim.
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell us a bit about that?
I was walking up the road, I was smoking the end of my cigarette. I've noticed it'd gone out. I was holding it in my hands until I saw a drain, put it down the drain and carried on walking. Then as I got to the bus stop, I'd been at the bus stop for about 3 minutes, and 2 officers were standing about 5-6 feet away from me and called me over.
Well, these were PCSOs?
Yes.
They weren't police officers?
No, they were lit hitlers.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Big men with badges.
Were they PCSOs or community impact or community support? PCSOs?
Yeah, PCSOs.
Yeah, plastic police.
Yes,
okay.
Them ones. And so eventually I went over to them and they said, we've just witnessed you littering, committing an offence, littering, dropping a cigarette butt onto the pavement. And I said, have you got any evidence of this? And they said, yes, us. And I said, well, you know, I didn't drop it on the pavement, I dropped it in the drain. Give us your name and your address. And I said, no, I don't want to give you my name and address. Why should I give you my name and address? I haven't committed an offence. And he said, yes, you have, and I'm going to give you a penalty ticket. I want your name and address, otherwise I'm going to call the police. And I said, my son's at home, he's blind, and I need to get home. I've already been out over an hour this morning, I want to get home. They said, no, if you leave, then we're going to call the police on you. You won't be going anywhere. So have you got any ID on you? And at this point, I wasn't aware, you know, of all this don't consent and whatever. So I took out the appointment letter that I had.
So when was this?
This was the 13th of March.
This year?
This year, on a bright sunny day, and I did not see these men with these high visibility jackets.
Where was it?
It was in Tipton, pedestrianised area.
So these people, they parade up and down all day, don't they?
Yeah, well, they weren't visible to me, even though they said they were wearing these high visibility jackets. I had not seen these, and I'd been walking around, turning around, and I had not seen these men, and they came from nowhere. Just appeared, and like I said, they questioned me, and then they asked me for ID, and I said, well, I haven't got any ID. And they said, oh, we'll have to phone the police then. And I said, I've got a letter.
So the police were called?
No, I pulled out the letter and I covered up what the contents of the letter were for. And he said, why are you doing that? And I said, because it's none of your business. I said, there's my name, there's my address and whatever. And then with that, they radioed through, got it confirmed that I was actually that person, and then issued me with a penalty notice.
A fixed penalty notice?
Yes.
And how much was that for?
I could pay £50 to them there and then, or £75 at a later date. He asked
bargain.
Me a bargain. He asked me if I was on benefits, and I said yes, I am, because I'm caring for my son who's nearly blind. And he said, oh well, don't worry about it then, they'll sort that out for you. And with that, you know, that was it. Basically.
So presumably what he meant by that was that they would take it out of your benefit money?
Yeah, basically. I've got no choice. I will have it taken from me whether I like it or not.
So £75
yes.
out of your benefit money,
yeah.
Which is how much?
At that time, I was getting £61.90 a week. I wanted more than what I actually get.
The charge was littering, but you didn't litter, did you?
No, because it went down a drain. I actually put it in the grid of the drain, and it is now property of the sewer.
So these corporate employees are taking money off people on benefit, which is more than the benefit that they get in a week, for dropping a cigarette down a grid. There's no harm, loss or injury.
No.
And there's certainly no fraudulence of contract.
No.
Because you told them who you were, didn't you?
Yes, exactly.
You won't do that again, will you?
No. No, I certainly won't.
So, did you refuse to pay the fine?
Oh, well, I couldn't pay the fine. And even if I could have, to be honest, I would have contested it because it's wrong. It's wrong. I knew I hadn't littered the pavement. I knew that it had gone down the drain.
So the cigarette end went down the drain, and it's floating away somewhere in the Midlands.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's been paid for its disposal already.
Yeah, absolutely, by you.
Yes.
Because you've actually contributed to the council tax, which really doesn't go to that, but we'll pretend it does.
Yes, yeah.
And did you go to court over this?
Eventually, yes.
Let me just tell us what happened there, because you offered to pay the fine.
I didn't offer to pay the fine. I basically said I wasn't going to jurisdict with them and be the fictional person.
But you'd already given them your name,
I had,
your person, the name of the person, hadn't you?
Yes, I had. Unbeknown to me, I didn't realise exactly what I was really doing at the time. I didn't realise that, you know, these people are actually, you know, I mean, they're
just corporate employees, they have no power?
No, not really, no. But as going into court, before I even stepped in the court, I asked to reserve my inalienable rights to be treated under common law jurisdiction. And before I even stepped in the court, I was told and shouted at that I do not have any rights whatsoever.
So who said that?
I believe it's the clerk recorder.
So the clerk,
yeah.
So you asked to be heard under common law.
Yes,
and the clerk to the court
twice
told you that you had no rights.
Before I even stepped in the court, you ain't got no rights. You ain't got no rights. That was it.
So, in other words, this is what happens. They make up an offence which isn't an offence.
No.
They take you to a court which clearly isn't a court.
Yeah.
And they then tell you have no rights.
Yep. Basically, I got shouted at
So how long have you
twice.
been in North Korea?
Since I was a baby, I think.
Yeah. So they issued summary judgment before you could say anything.
Yeah, and they dealt with me in my absence, even though I have 4 witnesses that sat behind me in the courtroom that can verify that I was actually there, but that I did not want to create jurisdiction with them. I wanted to be recognised under common law.
You got summoned to a place of business, and you weren't allowed to speak.
No.
Because it was their place of business.
No.
And they'd already issued summary judgment, hadn't they?
Yes.
So in other words, it wasn't £75 anymore, was it?
No, 190.
For dropping a cigarette end down a drain.
Yeah.
Why did it go to court?
Basically because I didn't respond or with any of their letters or anything like that. When they phoned, I didn't create jurisdiction with them.
So you gave them your phone number as well?
No, I didn't. They must have. I don't know how they got my phone number, but I did not give my phone number, and it's actually in their notes that they rang up and they confirmed.
So local councils can now get any information, your private information, at will because they've been given the powers by central government to do this. So in other words, local authorities now have the power of central government. However, what we have to do is deny them that power and refuse all their requests for information and do not contract with these people who are corporate employees. We have no right of redress, and they are employing people, issuing tickets and taking money off people who have paid into the system, and they have no redress whatsoever once they go to court.
To actually follow people around and wait for them to do something just so you can get some money out of them, I think is wrong. It's diabolical. And with the court costs, it's £100 for the court, £75 for the original fine to the council, and then there's a £15 victim surcharge. I want to know who's the victim.
So,
the grid in the road is the victim.
So
who's the victim?
They've stated
that there's a victim.
That your crime had a victim.
Yes. I want to meet this victim face to face.
But you have no rights, though. What do you think we should do about it?
Rebel. Tell them no.
Thank you very much, Lorraine.
You're welcome.